good. Afternoon, evening, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to my channel, East West Reviews. Getting into Tower of God today on a Monday. I've been thinking, and honestly, I think this might be the move for now on. I want to read it as soon as it comes out, honestly, for Tower of God, but it's just the way like my schedule and everything is like on Sundays, like Sunday nights. I'm not streaming just doesn't fit, honestly. So I think what's gonna happen is Mondays are going to be the new streaming days for Tower of God. So around this time, usually that's going to be the move from here on out. And probably still going to have Bad Batch drop in the morning as well. Usually I got that in the 9, 10 o'clock spot consistently. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's the move from now on. Just want to cover some housekeeping real quick. But with that out the way, now we can get into Tower of God. We've been wanting to get into, especially since last week with that ending. My boy Hats coming in, man, finally using his ignition sword. Finally got the courage to go ahead and do that. Shout out to Cha, someone who's been pushing him. Shout out to White, who's also been pushing him. So I hope, I'm really hoping for a culmination of all of these high tiers pushing him along really comes through and takes him up to that next level where we know he can eventually be. I got him eventually being someone in Bam's team who's going to have to take care of the Ari family when the time comes. So this could be the start of Hat's journey, as a number one swordsman. Let's go. I'm originally from a branch of one of the 10 great families, but because of a situation with my parents, I grew up with the main family. Ever since I was little, I've always been closer to animals than to people. As an indirect descendant, I felt alienated by the people in the main family who looked down on me. But animals are so straightforward about their feelings that I could relate to them right away. When I gave animals love, they gave the same love back to me. They never betrayed me. After becoming a regular and climbing the tower, in spite of opposition from the people around me, I chose to become an anima. Rather than dominating animals and forcing them to obey me, I chose to get closer to them by giving them love. Oh, this is the guy who sits in the chair? Okay. Okay, if this is him, really? Hold on. So he's not nobody, but like he's notable. So he's from a Brand family, but he grew up with a Man family. Okay. So I guess, he had a proper higher affinity to be an anima. Why would you not have someone from that clan not want to be an anima? It took a long time, but I thought that was the best way to become a true anima. As I climbed the tower, I arrived at a certain village and heard that the people there were having trouble because of some giant wild rabbits that came down from the mountain. Because of their enormous size and extraordinary fertility, the rabbits weren't easy to get rid of. Upon hearing that, I went to check out the mountain behind the village and found the rabbits' den. Seeing how many of them there were, I knew that the army would probably be called in to deal with them soon. Before the army could come and kill the rabbits, I offered to get rid of them for the villagers first. I found out that the giant rabbits came down to the village in search of food, so we temporarily locked every door in the village. And in the part of the these are the rabbits. They don't, especially the one on the left there, that would like directly straight ahead. Like it's like it's like a, it's menacingly cute. I don't know. It's why do they gotta make them kawaii? They're supposed to be some dangerous rabbits. Anyways, and in one part of the village, I put down some of their favorite food, coated it in a drug for reducing their fertility. As I expected, the rabbits swarmed to the spot, and I went there every day and gave the rabbits food by myself. At first, most of the giant rabbits avoided me, and over time they gradually let their guard down. After a lot of hard work, I finally managed to bring them under my control and stop them from reproducing. Okay. Then I gathered the villagers together and told them how to coexist peacefully with the rabbits. I told them that they may lack food now because of the rabbits, but as the rabbits' population decreases, the situation would soon improve. And the villagers listened to me. This is going to be where Yasracha comes in. This is his horror story of Yasracha. I taught the villagers how to befriend the rabbits, and the rabbits became their pets. Over time, the number of giant rabbits on the mountain decreased dramatically, and I stayed there for a long time because people recognized me as an expert on the rabbits. A long time after that, suddenly a lot of giant rabbits were found dead around the village, and witnesses said that some monster from the mountain had done it. People were terrified by the appearance of this unidentified monster. I headed over to the mountain on request from the villagers. I thought that even the most terrible monster could be befriended with good, genuine intentions. But that belief of mine was shattered the moment that I saw it. It was as big as a castle, with a flaming mane and two terrifying heads. It was unlike any animal I had ever seen before. Oh, what is that? Oh, this looks like something out of a horror story. This is cool. What is this? This is raw. So, what? Okay. It doesn't have just 4 legs. It's got what? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 5 pairs of legs? It's got those crazy, like, red beady eyes, the flower mane, and it has the second head. It looks like a snake attached. Is this some sort of chimera? He said I couldn't even imagine befriending it. I felt so helpless. The monster slipped away into the darkness. I returned to the village, and seeing that even I didn't know what to do, the scared villagers suggested that they bring in the army. A few days after that, someone named Yasracha appeared. He said that he was very familiar with the monster that had appeared in this village and that he knew how to deal with it. I'm sure he was very familiar with the monster. I'm sure he had something very much to do with the monster. He was confident that he could overpower it. Soon the battle began. There were flashes of light on the mountain and some loud noises. Then Yasracha came back with an unconscious monster. Yo, he's dragging that thing. Seeing that, all the villagers praised Yasracha's strength, and I was completely forgotten. Yasracha told them that wild animals are dangerous and shouldn't be tamed. He said that they can only be overpowered or killed. And he told the villagers that the giant rabbits must be eliminated from the village to prevent such monsters from reappearing. People thought Yasracha was right. So they began abandoning or beating and killing the rabbits that they had been raising as pets. The dead bodies of brutally murdered rabbits were found throughout the village. Man, these people ain't shit. These people ain't shit. And the rabbits which had been lucky enough to escape or be abandoned ran back to the mountain in fear. I couldn't stop them. All of this felt like it was my fault. I couldn't take it anymore, so I risked my life and went to see Yasracha. I told him that people began hating and killing innocent rabbits because of him. I said that I had to tell him that I believed that his violent ways were wrong, even if it meant endangering my own life. I told him how I had tamed the giant rabbits, and said that animals and people have to find a way to live together in peace. Hearing what I had to say, Yasracha simply laughed and disagreed. Violent? Do you really think your approach is any less violent than mine? Come with me. I'll show you what kind of person you are. I went with Yasracha. Oh, he's got like a baby version of his cat now. Yasracha took me somewhere in the giant mountain range, connected to the mountain behind the village. What the villagers simply thought was as what the villagers simply thought of as the mountain behind the village was actually part of an enormous mountain range. Oh wow. So they were just a fraction. And what I saw there shocked me. A bunch of those terrifying monsters was devouring the giant rabbits. The rabbits were their food. Oh. That's when I realized why those monsters had come to the village. Do you get it now? Those beasts have been feeding on the giant rabbits for ages. They're quite intelligent, so they try to stay out of human territory as much as possible. That's why they never appeared on that mountain behind the village, which allowed the rabbits to escape there. If you had just left them alone, the beasts would have come and gotten rid of the rabbits for you eventually. But because you brought the rabbits into the village and stopped them from breeding, the beasts didn't have enough food, so they had to come near the village. If I hadn't gotten rid of the rabbits in the village, the hungry beasts might have even gone and harmed the villagers. Then all those innocent people would have been killed, and these beasts would have been slaughtered by the government troops. That whole tragedy would have occurred because of one arrogant anima who thought that he could control nature. Do you still think I'm more violent than you? Damn. Okay. Alright, Yasracha. He's got him on this one. I couldn't say anything. What came over me at that moment was not a feeling of guilt towards the animals that had died, but a feeling of helplessness that I and Anima had failed to control the situation. I'm not trying to blame you. I actually understand how you feel, said Yasracha. How could you understand? And Yasracha says, well, what people like you actually want is complete control over others, and animals are much easier to control than people. That's not true. Stop being such a hypocrite. Show that disgusting, arrogant desire to dominate everything. That's your true nature and what you will become. If you can be honest with yourself, I'll give you the power to control a lot of things. The power to control? It was too sweet an offer to refuse. He knew me. And then we get the intro. This is a long chapter. Okay. And now we're back at the present. He's in his transformed form. I still want to know, like, where among the Lopobia family, like, where does Yasracha sort of rank or place, in comparison to the family head? We know they're kind of, they make up a large part of Jihad's force, so naturally one of them is going to be a commander. But, like, where does he rank in the family? Because he's different. Alright, we got Chaw and all of these animals. He's going to take them all on. He's going to try not to kill them. Okay, some rapid punches. Alright. I like Chaw. Chaw's growing on me. He needed a lot more exposure, honestly. He didn't have too much since he came out the wall. Now, Hats. Go for the division commander while I hold back the hostages. Let's go Hats with the sword. I'm sure all of you noticed by now, but I had to have Hat's thumbnail from one of the past chapters. I couldn't get it just right with that panel from the last chapter, but Had to give some hats appreciation. Alright. Purification. The, the distant and mysterious eastern sea that shaped this sword is said to be a sea that purifies all things. The distant and mysterious eastern sea? Is that a place? The reason that this sword obeys me even though I'm not a ranker is because I may be weak, but I'm also slightly more transparent than rankers. Take it. Oh, this is how we got it. Okay. Is this a sword? Yes, it's a sword. Wow, and you're giving it to him? Lucky him. I'm your student too. Don't you have anything for me? It's from Warlock Eek's song, not me. Who's this? They seem to have chosen it very carefully because you're Bam's companions, and they wanted to give you something that would be useful. Oh. Alright. So Urek and his boys wanted to level up Bam and his people. Nice. So they gave Hats an ignition sword. It's even an ignition weapon. Ship's jealous. It would be dangerous if anyone finds out this is connected to Warlock Eek's song. So if anyone asks where you got it, just tell them you found it by chance in the tower. Somewhat believable? Oh, this is who we got it from. Can regulars use it? Yes, D-rank regulars can use it. I was surprised too. But this sword is very proud, so it doesn't listen to people who are too strong. Its strength and abilities also change depending on the situation and its mood. And many rankers have died trying to ignite this sword. Okay. What? Died? Well, what a scary weapon. Yes, they just passed out and never woke up. Hat is trying to open it. Don't take out the sword or try to ignite it unless you absolutely have to. Funnily enough, the sword is more likely to listen to those who are weak, but only if its owner is free of greed and is pure of mind. If someone tries to use a sword with even slightly bad intentions, it can even kill them. It has a mind of its own, so it's dangerous. I'm giving you the sword because I think you have a purer mind than anyone I know has. You mean I can kill you if you're too greedy? I know Hats isn't that kind of person, of course, but this is too dangerous. It's better not to use it. That's right. It's better not to use it if possible. Then why are you giving it to him? Swords are dangerous by nature, but it would be silly not to have a sword just because it's dangerous. It's certainly a dangerous sword, but as you climb the tower with Bam, eventually you'll need it. When you're in a situation where you're willing to risk your life for something, if you focus entirely on that goal and ignite this sword, then I'm sure it will lend you its power. Just focus on saving these brainwashed people. If I don't ask for any more than that, I'm sure the sword will help me. Donghae. Ignite. Just once. I can't take any more than that. Just this once. Oh, is it working? Please work. Oh, what are these orange beams and lines connecting? Oh, okay. The high rankers are responding, so something's happening. Oh, it's taking out the cat feelers. What's it doing? Yeah, I'm like with this guy. Like, what's going on? My daze is getting weaker. Oh, there's the rabbits. Did it work? Nice, he's losing control over them. I can't believe it. How could a regular break my spell? Thank you for this chance, Hats. Alright. I won't let it go to waste. Okay, he's charging up his fist. Let's go, Cha. Crash. We just see the arm come back at the haymaker. Regeneration isn't working. You bastards. Primal punch. I was gonna say, don't tell me he's about to destroy this guy with like a no-name move. Primal punch. Lethal move. Oh wait, so that first one was just a punch? Oh wow. Yep, he did. He's dead. I can't believe you were keeping so many hostages in that pyramid. You're not just twisted. You're evil. Stay back. Oh, I guess he's not dead. Damn it. He's trying to get up. Why am I being humiliated like this? Lord Yasraja gave me this power to put me at the top of the pyramid. Oh, the rabbits. This is kind of poetic. Oh, not just the rabbits. It's all the animals. He said, hey, I've always looked after you animals. Aren't you trying to help me? Come here. Tries to extend a hand. Come here and keep that man away until I can get out of here safely. Oh. Are they... No, they're running away from him? What are you doing? You're supposed to protect me. Are you disobeying me? I'm your master. Oh, wait. Sorry, y'all. There's people around. What is this thing? Is he about to get eaten? Oh, shit. Oh, is that one of those animals that, the chimera-looking animal ate him? Kendrick Deal, you always seem to be sitting. Is something wrong with your legs? No, Lord Yasracha. Are you uncomfortable with me sitting? If that's the case, no, I'm just asking. Purely out of curiosity. I see, I'm trying to avoid doing things myself, starting with walking. What? I'm trying to avoid doing things myself, starting with walking. Is that so? One day, it suddenly occurred to me that the dumber and more basic the animal, the more it requires its legs. It also occurred to me that I can get around just fine without using my legs. My job is to command others, not to move myself. I don't have to walk anyway, so I decided not to. It's an interesting idea. Saying you don't need to walk since you can just get others to do things for you. As you like then. Yes, thank you, Lord Yasracha. I knew you would understand. Alright, what is this? His legs are a symbol of how much more evolved he is than other animals. Yet he's proud to choose a regression just to show off his own power. That would be such a foolish choice to make for an animal whose life revolves around survival and evolution. Yes, it's also a very human choice. Oh, he got his head bitten off. Ooh. You really have become wonderfully corrupt, Kendrick Dale. Oh, Hats is losing it. Hats, are you okay? It hurts so badly, it feels like my insides are going to explode from the pressure. What? What? My boy. Is this what it feels like every time you use that power of yours, Bam? Oh. Huh. Oh, Bam's part of the field. Oh, Thud. Oh, I guess he collapsed. A new turn has begun. The number of squares in direction, 4 squares forward. I see you're going that way, huh? So you'd rather face the map boss than deal with me. No matter how strong the map boss may be, it can't be stronger than a legendary high ranker. I suppose that makes sense, but you'll probably regret it. White is going to catch up to me eventually unless I take this route. I don't have a chance of beating White right now. It's better to go with the route that is the least slightly better odds, even if there's an unknown factor. I'm going to avoid White and take the jumping route. If I can beat all the monsters in one turn, I might not have to face White. Even if I run into an extremely powerful monster, I'll be able to cross the map in the shortest amount of time. I'd like to move forward by 4 squares already. Okay, so he's at a cage. Would you like to open the prison? Yeah, hurry. He's in a rush. The prison is now opening. I wonder can White move at like a faster pace? Is that part of the game? A prison is now opening. Please know that monsters will come out of the prison. Oh, it's a giant rhino. Is there just one monster? As I explained earlier, the jumping route also allows you to save time, but the monsters in the prison are also much stronger. The monster that emerged from the prison is a middle area beast that even rankers were afraid of. Oh. This is its breeding season, so the male is even more aggressive than usual. Don't let your guard down just because there's only one monster. Oh, it's charging him. Oh, did he try to use reverse control? He's right, it's way stronger than the other monsters. Come on, this isn't very entertaining to watch. Use that thorn or whatever to kill it. You think I'm going to fall for that? I know you want me to use up all my energy here so that you can catch me. I was just trying to give you some helpful advice. I mean it. I don't want that thing to steal my prey. You still haven't really used the powers within you. You just use little bits and pieces of each power. You never gather power enough that way. You have to command the power within you to gather together as one. Oh, is he teaching how to use the soul power? With as much force as you can muster, when all your powers are directed in a single direction at a single target. Then they're compressed into one. That's the only way for you to properly use your power. Command my power to gather together. What is it? Are you interested? No. Oh, what's Bam about to do? Shinsu? He's about to use those rings that he has circulating around him. I'm not interested in hearing what a nasty person like you has to say. What is that? What did he do? Oh, he cut off the horn. Did he just use a concentration of Shinsu and use it like a knife or like a sword? You sure are stubborn, but I don't think this is going to go quite as smoothly as you wish. Oh, the horn ignited? Slayer Canon, it's only a matter of time until you set your powers on fire. The day when I first devoured another person's soul, I was extremely confused. I wonder, is it right to consume other people's souls like this just to gain power? If I can't take it back, how should I feel about the powers of the other people within me? But because of my thirst for power, I continued devouring souls in spite of my confusion. And as I obtained more power, strangely enough, at some point, that intense confusion simply vanished. All I heard was the clear sound of a single sword. The cries of all those souls I devoured were silenced as though cut down by my blade. It was then that I learned about myself. I've always been different from them. I've been a ruthless predator since birth. I was destined for a blood-soaked crown. There was never any need to worry about any of that. This power could only be obtained by getting blood on my hands. The crown was my blood-stained, but it was a token given to a lord whose towers over the dead. You are the same as me. I want to see you get drunk on your own enormous power, and put on this blood-stained crown yourself. I want to see you corrupted by great power. Wow. All right. That's the chapter. Okay. That's a long chapter. Damn. That's a good one though. That was a good chapter. I'm gonna keep this brief just cause I'm hungry, trying to eat some dinner. um, but yeah, started off. Shout out to Hats first and foremost. Shout out to Hats. He came through. Man had his moment. You know, he did his thing. Ignited the sword. Took him to a level where he was able to cancel out even a high ranker's move. So I'm curious, like, where else can this take him? This is a sword that's meant for weaker people. So this can give him an edge as a regular. Granted, he has to be willing to withstand whatever he just witnessed. I'm curious what the blowback's going to be, honestly, because he passed out instantly. He was weak, so I don't expect Hats to honestly do anything except maybe retreat after this point. He's done. Honestly, I don't think he can really do anything else. I mean, it's sad to say, but he got his moment, so that's enough for me. It's been a long time since Hats has done anything, so I'm happy he got this. I kind of just hope that SIU just kind of keeps it going, a little more consistent with this Hats love. I need it. But yeah, so that's another commander down. I think there's only one left. And yeah, there's only one left. The dark skinned guy. And one of the people mentioned him and said, if you run into him, you're in trouble. So I'm curious, who is it that's going to run into him? There's still a few people in the Cat Tower that we really haven't seen how they're doing and what they're doing. We've seen just about everyone. I hope it's not Kuhn and Rack that runs into him, because there's absolutely nothing they can do. We briefly saw Karaka and I think Dawe is the name. Who was in the wall. She has the flower petals, the Byakuya gimmick. We saw them take someone out in a single panel, and that was it. I want to know what they're doing, just because I want to see Karaka a lot more. I definitely want him to have a little bit more shine as well. So maybe they run into him. They're probably the only other powerful people left on our side in there. Of course, you got Mule Love in there. I'm curious to see what he's doing. As far as we haven't seen him yet, and have some sort of altercation. But also, we haven't even seen Machini's people. Where are they? Are they watching? Are they doing their own thing? You know, they, of course, I'm sure they go in there with their own agenda because of her. You know, she always has her own ulterior motives. Um, but yeah, so what you know, what's going on there? Um, what else is there? There really wasn't too much else. I guess the rest of it was really just Bam. Um, we see him in white. I actually was actually surprised we saw them this soon. I wasn't expected to be for a little bit. Um, wrong, but Bam is. I, I don't want to say he's in over his head because I'm sure he some way he is going to use it. He is like limiting himself severely to the point where he's trying to just conserve power, especially with White right behind him. Um, so I'm curious how he's going to, you know, what moves is he going to pull out. I'm sure this is going to be where we see a lot more of these um, lethal moves, you know, nade moves, these attacks that he learned from Han Sung Yu and also even Evankel and the time that he was away. You know, he hasn't used an orb either, at least that I can think of. I don't think he's used an orb. So I'm curious if you know how much has that evolved as well. You know, is he gonna have to use that in one of these cases? So there's a number of techniques Bam can just dish out here in these next couple battles he's got ahead of him before this big monster. Um, and yeah, and then that monster's going to push him. He'll probably have to ignite the thorn, maybe even the second one, but he's going to have to pull something out. I want to know what this thing is, especially if it's going to be something that like high rankers have an issue with. But yeah, that's pretty much the chapter. That's I really don't have too much. I just want to progress the story. It's getting really good, honestly. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm gonna go eat. But take care. Let me know what you thought about this chapter. Let me know if, any predictions you got for next week. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Yeah, again, let me know what you thought down below. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Oh, and solo on Wednesday.